Yo guys, what is up? My name is Chrisley, and today I'm gonna make a top lane guide for Darius for Preseason 8. Now, since the preseason launched, I think I've played about 60 games of the champion, and so I'm quite confident I know what pages are best suited for the champion. So let's make a new room page here. The first page is gonna be a resolve page, and the keystone you're gonna go for is Grasp of the Undying. It's basically the same as Grasp before, it's just a lot stronger. It not only deals more damage, but it also heals you for more, and it also permanently increases your health by 5 for each time you proc it. Now, after this, you will go into Demolish, because this adds a lot of split push pressure, and Darius doesn't really push towers that fast, but Demolish helps him a lot with that. You can also take Unflinching if you run Flash Ghost, because Ghost has a short cooldown, and it gives high uptime on this mastery. For the next row, it's very situational and lane dependent. You take Iron Skin against physical damage dealers which pressure you early game. So for example, Riven or a Gangplank you would go Iron Skin against. Mirror Shell is the same thing but against magic damage opponents, so I would take this against Akali every game, because it will reduce her all-in pressure early into the game. You take Conditioning against everything that can't kill you pre 10 minutes, because this gives you a lot of value later on, and it won't really matter in all-ins where you already have the advantage if you lose out on 5 MR or 5 armor, so Conditioning most of the time will be the correct choice on this row. Now, for the last row here on Resolve, we will take Second Wind. Second Wind makes it really hard for the opponents to push you out of lane. It's basically like an enhanced Doran Shield, and the best thing about this is that if you're against someone that will poke you a lot, you can buy a Doran Shield and take Second Wind, and you will never get harassed out of lane. Some people take Overgrowth, but I think this mastery is really bad. It doesn't give you a lot of health. Maybe endgame it gives you like a little bit more than 100 health, but throughout the early stages of the game it's just completely worthless, and this adds a lot to your laning phase. Now for the secondary tree, you're gonna most of the time go for Precision here. You're gonna go for Triumph, and you're gonna go for Legend Alacrity. Now I know that some of you are gonna go like, oh, why do you take the attack speed over the 10ST on Darius? Because most people think that Darius doesn't need attack speed. There's a reason why before these changes you always went attack speed quints in your rune setup. It's because Darius has really low base attack speed, and you really need the extra attack speed to last it under tower early, and you need it to stack your passive to get it to 5 stacks so you can start dunking in fights. You can get lucky and get a dunk on a low target and get 5 stacks immediately, but if that doesn't happen, you need to rely on the attack speed. Now Triumph is just insanely broken right now. I think they will nerf this from 15 to 10% in a later patch, and when this gets nerfed, you want to take this instead. I can't pronounce it, but Coup de Grace or whatever. Don't be too harsh on me for the pronunciation of this one. But yeah, this is also really strong, but right now Triumph and Alacrity is better. Here you can also go into Sorcery for some early game shees, basically go into Celerity for the extra AD, and Scorch for the ability hit damage. It deals a lot of damage early game, but it doesn't do much later on, so this is only for pure early game. And then Domination if you want even more sustain and better like dueling potential. With this you can take a lot of trades and then you can sustain up afterwards. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the next page, which is the Precision page. Now we take Press the Attack here. These two are really bad on Darius. So you go Press the Attack, then you go Triumph again, you go Alacrity, and then you go this one. Now for the second choice here, you want to either take Domination for the extra sustain as we said before, or you can take Resolve if you're against a really hard matchup. So you take for example Iron Skin and Second Wind, and then lastly you can go into Sorcery for the early game cheese. So you go like this. These are basically like the main pages for Darius. Now I'm gonna go into the more unorthodox pages. You can basically go Sorcery, and you can go Face Rush, then you go the Ultimate Hat for reduced cooldown on your ultimate, then you go into Celerity, and then you go into Scorch. Here, since this is quite risky, but you scale really well because you have a lot of move speed in fights, I would mostly go Resolve here and go like Demolish and Second Wind or something like that, or even Conditioning and Second Wind. Or you could go for a really aggressive page and go like Domination to like sustain if you fight a lot, or obviously you can go into Precision and take Triumph and Alacrity. So you kind of understand the pattern of what secondary runes are good for Darius. You can change the main tree a lot and choose your keystone, but after that the secondary ones are mostly the same. So that's the pattern that I want you guys to grasp from this video. video. So the last one, which I'm gonna show you, is the Domination one. Now this is really good against squishy champions such as Gangplank. It's really aggressive, so the only change up here is obviously you have to take one more point in Domination, so we go for Eyeball Collector because it gives you AD. And then since this is a really aggressive page, we want to either go into Scorch and Celerity, or we want to go into Triumph and Legend Alacrity. So these are basically the pages for Darius. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have any questions regarding setups, or you have suggestions for how to build Darius, make sure to leave a comment below and I will read them and leave a response. But anyways guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one.